Hello, and welcome to the Monster Painter. This week, I'm going to take on some unfinished terrain from just over there. And here we go on the big adventure. And I've got to find that first piece of terrain that'll get the ball rolling, and there it is, a hideous orc idol to Mork, possibly to Gork, I'm not sure. And then at the end, I hope to finish this monstrosity. Oh, God help me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Right, so here they are. There's the idol to Gork or Mork, who cares, and a couple of pine trees that just need a tiny bit of work, and I will be happy to get them all off the table. The pine trees only need a bit of black on the base, so they should be done up pretty quick. And here are the final results. I'm not sure if you could even tell the pine trees have been touched up a bit, but they have been, and I'm satisfied with them, and off they go. And then, of course, all the little details on the hideous monument to Gork or Mork. And the orcs will have some god-awful thing to worship now. Lucky orcs. And on to the next thing. I have a dock sitting on top of this castle. A dock made out of foam. It is produced by a German company called Ziterdes, and it is a fine piece of terrain. I got it half finished, and now it's on the go. I'm going to get this sucker all done. Thank goodness. Ziterdes produces a whole line of this terrain made in foam, which is great stuff. It's got nice detail. It is lightweight and reasonably durable for something made out of foam. And I think the final result is quite fantastic. I couldn't be more pleased. Onward, ever onward. Now I'm going to take on a couple of parts, interchangeable parts for that giant, crazy Magewraith Tower. Primed them up. They were primed. And base coat of brown, nice and simple. And I'm going with a bronze and marble look for the pair. And they're mostly finished, not entirely perfect, but they'll do. Next stop, the Eastern Steps, and I'm going to finish up this yurt. It is another piece by Ziterdes. This one isn't made out of foam, however. It is made as a resin pour, so it's a lot heavier, very solid. And really, it only has a few details that I have to touch up, but part of this project is all about touching up those little details. And it's finished now, and it looks great. It'll be a wonderful dwelling for orcs and goblins, as well as those wild barbarian horsemen of the central plains of Asia. And we're off to the Paleolithic. A little archaeology, got to uncover the next piece of terrain, and it is by Reaper. It is a Mammoth hunter hut, a lovely mid-Stone Age, Neolithic, Paleolithic, or Mesolithic piece. Beautifully done, very convincing and true to life. I think it's based off of a Mammoth hunter hut that was uncovered in Siberia. And it is an excellent bit that only needed a little bit of work. And this is what it looks like finished. Just a touch. The next bit of terrain isn't on my painting table, but it's been kicking around the studio for far too long. This set of horrendously ugly, evil trees. And they're going to need a little more work than the last couple of pieces, for sure. But they are wonderfully ugly and evil, and they're going to look great on the table when they're finally finished. They're going to be excellent pieces for Gothic horror. These trees are 3D printed trees, the only 3D printed terrain that we'll be doing today, and they look sufficiently evil and horrifying. I think they turned out quite nice and sinister. With the trees out of the way, we're off to the ancient Near East, and I'm going to finish up this tower here. Oh my, and Fleckyar, you defeated that mutant dinosaur. Good for you. And this is the ancient tower. It is a resin pour tower I got from Etsy from a seller called Steeple Hat Miniatures, and it was really cheap. It was $40 shipping included, and it has turned out to be quite a lovely, quite convincing, I guess, Neo-Assyrian tower that will make a fine addition to my city of Old Felstad. I'm looking forward to using it there. On to another piece of terrain that's been kicking around the studio far too long. It's nearly finished, but not quite done. It is a great big piece from a board game, the board game Clue Mystery at the Museum, and it's an enormous bit of terrain that I have repurposed. I've cut out some parts and painted it up, and it looks great, and it's huge, and it has lots of potential for the tabletop. I'm looking forward to using it as a great big ruin. All right, now on to the nitty-gritty. Some Games Workshop terrain, and this pair of great big plastic pieces are a Sigmarite temple, a ruined Sigmarite temple, and they're mostly finished, but they have a bit of detailing that I've got to complete, and they are enormous and lovely and very convincing big pieces of terrain. And with the Games Workshop stuff, there's always a lot of little details that you got to deal with, and so I'm gonna deal with some of the details, in particular that door and that bit there, and I think it's gonna turn out nicely. So the door is pretty good detail, and boom, it looks lovely when it's finished. And then there was some skulls. Of course, it's a Games Workshop model, so it's got to have lots of skulls on it, and the skulls paint up really nicely. The thing overall is an enormous bit of terrain and a very lovely set of two pieces that will go great in Old Felstad. Once again, I'm looking forward to adding more suburbs to that ancient city, more ruins. I can never get enough ruins. I gotta get more ruins. I love ruins. And now we have reached our final stop, the terrifying Magewraith Tower. And it is terrifying because it is so huge. I mean, it's got an immense amount of surface area, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish this great big beast of a model. Now, I'm a cheapskate, and this thing is like $150 Canadian, and well, I didn't actually pay for that. I got this wonderful piece of terrain when I found a copy of Hero Quest at the Value Village for a crummy $5. I took that crummy copy of Hero Quest and I traded it with a friend for this big tower. He played the game with his family. They went through the whole game. Much fun was had by all, and I had this tower which has been kicking around on my studio table for years and years. Really, all of this terrain was all started before I began my video channel, and the only way I could finish it was by making a video out of it. And to be honest, I didn't really finish it. I got it to a point where it's table ready and nobody's going to say, oh my god, that's a hideous unfinished piece of terrain, get it off. But it's such a lovely piece that I really feel I got to work on it some more. It's got so much detail and so much character and so much zaniness and a telescope. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish it. I mean, what could possibly keep me from completing this magnificent thing unless I found something new to work on, like this. It's got a lean-to. I mean, a lean-to. I've got a yurt and a mammoth hunter hut, but I don't have a lean-to. I love lean-tos. I think I'm going to work on the lean-to now. And here it all is in its natural habitat, being cluttered terrain on a nice wargaming mat. It will make for an excellent battle. It'll block lines of sight, and it all comes together to look really rather nice and complete. Next week on The Monster Painter, I take on more unfinished business in the form of the Bones 5 core set. God help me.
Remember to like,
Comment, subscribe,
and ring the bell! Ring the bell! You are watching Less the Monster Painter.